Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. It's an all new season. It's Recap and Record. I'm Levi. This is Los, and we're back. And boy, oh boy, it's a new kind of show this season.
Yes.
It is. This is real life. This is drama. This isn't a Love Island or a fantasy dragon story that some guy cooked up in his mom's basement. This is, via just what we know about society and the world and life. It's happening. It's been happening, and it is Euphoria, season 3. Los, how you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Yo, man, I'm glad to be back. And you know what? It's funny because I've been trying to record and it's been hard, bro. It's been hard to make content by myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, right? It's because back in the day we would say whenever we would see all this other random stuff that doesn't matter, so to speak, we would be like, oh, yeah, that's just a distraction because you're supposed to be paying attention to the political stuff, whatever. I feel like right now it's the opposite. And it's like I want all this other stuff to the quote unquote distractions. I need that type of stuff. And I feel like in the last since we stopped recording for the last season, I feel like it's been too much political stuff, crazy stuff going on, and I'm like, bro, there's not enough entertainment.
Well, and since
because I don't want to touch some of that, man.
No, I was going to touch on it even before we hit record with you. I haven't done an episode since February because
I wondered if you were not recording or if you were doing the Tone Taylors. Because if I don't see your face on the thing, I don't know if you've done it. I don't know if it's just for them or what.
So I'm building 2 studios now for 2 clients. So one in York, one up in Enola. I'll tell you more about that later. But so it's the podcasting just professionally is kind of taking up my time, and then the other half of it is exactly the current status of the world and the political state we're in, and who's may or may not be running the show. Who knows? And it's just every time I think of an idea of a topic or a bit for the podcast, it just somehow gets worse, and I don't want to think about it. And it's the only other thing, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have fallen off. I haven't heard from them in weeks.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't even know.
It's just, there's something.
Falling off as in break up, or falling off just not being talked about?
No one's reporting on him. Everyone's waiting for the wedding. He's not playing football. She's not doing music. So it's there's nothing really, the drama's elsewhere, and I haven't really been in that kind of lane either. And I've kind of not, no whatever towards you, no disrespect, but I've also, I feel like I got that from a couple of your last episodes, just kind of, it just seems and I think it just goes back to that conversation we had a few months ago of how long do we keep going? It's been 200 plus episodes. Is it and I even thought too of doing just a complete format switch where maybe not doing an hour-long podcast every week, but maybe just a very well polished 10 to 15 minute topical whatever kind of thing. So I don't know.
I forget if we said we were supposed to take a break, because when I wasn't seeing you post stuff and again, that's via Opus, because we shared Opus. So I'm like I think I remember Levi saying we were supposed to take a break, and I'm like, damn, I wasn't taking a break, but I kind of was, because I was putting out, it was every other week or every 3 weeks I was putting out an episode, and I was like, oh shit, it's just it's weird, man. The world's weird, and I ain't gonna lie, I do this for fun, I do this. I like the entertainment side of things. I like the fun topics, and we can get a little serious with certain things. We can dig deep with certain things, but again, the climate's been weird.
Well, and I think too, and that's just kind of a perfect segue into this episode, is that I think what you and I have experienced thus far with TV and movies has been that this year is turning out to be a pretty good content, TV, movies. I mean, I haven't been to the theater in 10 to 15 years. I think The Quiet Place 1, whenever that came out, was the last time I went to the movies. And
for
now
real?
this year we've been twice, three
Okay.
times technically. My son has discovered the movie theater and he loves it. He has all the dates of the Hoppers, Minions, Mario, Toy Story. So we've got 9 more. The Star Wars he wants to go see, even though he knows
Yeah.
nothing about it. But
Wow.
he's just so we'll be at the theater probably a few times this year, and I think you have too. And just with
Yeah.
the shows that we're doing, like I said, we're booked. We did Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We're doing Euphoria. That takes us
Yes.
right into House of the Dragon season 3, and
Yes.
then right into Harry Potter if we're
Harry
doing that,
Potter. Let's
and
go.
then maybe a holiday break, and then boop, we're right back into Night of the Seven Kingdoms season
Yep.
2,
Yep.
and then so it's we've got a lineup here of what I'm thinking so far has been pretty good content. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this show, Euphoria season 3, doesn't break that streak
Yes.
as much as potentially we would have maybe given it higher praises in past seasons. But we'll
Yes.
see. We'll see where season 3 takes us. But before we jump in, just a bit of news and a bit of housekeeping. Much as the show did, we pay our respects. Rest in peace. Shout out to the great late Eric Dane and August Cloud, not joining us this season. August Cloud, Fesco, he's mentioned. We'll get to him later in the episode. And it was confirmed Eric Dane did film all of his scenes that he'll be in for this season. So
Okay.
we will be seeing him, maybe potentially just hearing from him. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate them. And I believe a few other cast members who are no longer with us for this season, just because it took them the 4 to 5 years to put it out.
4 years to put this out. The last time this aired was in January 2022. So 4 full years. That's kind of crazy. I think a lot of us who watched this show, who loved this show when it first came out, as the years kind of kept going and going, a lot of people just kind of had this attitude of like, man, y'all can keep that. Like it's no point now. Like,
And that's essentially where we're at. And Megs was like, well, there's definitely gonna be a season 4, and I'm like, I don't think so,
No,
sweetheart.
this is the last season.
It. This
is the last season.
Sydney Sweeney is Sydney Sweeney. Zendaya has 5 major blockbusters coming out this year alone. Like the cast is no longer affordable and just a kind of a.
Why does she think there's going to be a season 4?
Just
I
hopeful.
thought they've announced that this was the last season.
And I told her that she just didn't. She didn't have any of the background.
Okay.
But I
didn't know if she like knew something we didn't know.
No. It's just wishful thinking, obviously, because we just binged season 1 and 2, so it's fresh.
It's
and,
a different.
We're in it now, so it's like with season 3 here, it's like, okay, like what are we doing? So
I had to binge because I was like, I'm not gonna binge the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, let me go season 2. So I got almost the whole way through. But then like I ran out of time, and then I didn't want to watch like 3 hours straight of Euphoria, because sometimes some of them episodes can be a little bit heavy.
they're a little long,
long, and
it starts to give you more appreciation for those 37-minute Night of the Seven Kingdoms episodes.
Well, yeah, but in season 2 though, it's crazy because you're really seeing the effects of Rue's addiction, and like some of that stuff is hard to watch.
The one, her overdose, her relapse
and
episode was
even when she's getting better, and like she has fucking a boogie just like out of her note, like just you know what I mean? And it's like, I cannot watch 3 hours of this. Yeah, you know what I mean, but I got up to the penultimate, whatever, and I remember a lot of it, like it was like refreshing my memory. But I wanted to watch it now too, because I was like, does this hold up? Like, was it just cool back in the day, or did it hold up? And I feel like watching season 2, like, no, this show is good. Like, I can see why we liked it. Visually, it's stunning. Like it's super artistic and stunning, whatever. It's a little weird. Like it gets like there's like some of those like little montages,
it's a Kid Cudi high vibe. Like every time, bro, I've got the instrumental on my computer, but every time that Labyrinth song comes on, like feel the morning on my face, I just like I feel my body raising off the ground. Probably
Yes.
because I also smoke when I watch the show. But at the end of the day, it is a yeah, man. The so far what they have done with season 1 and season 2 has been pretty spot on.
Yes.
And I think now you said and mentioned you watched pretty much up to the penultimate season 2. So how do you feel real quick about the play? Because
Oh my
when
God, that was
we
so. I got a lot of things. It was the greatest play ever put on for any high school.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
dope,
but it's
right?
also the most unrealistic,
Sure,
biggest production
they wouldn't have
play
been able to, right? Yeah.
ever.
Hmm.
Like the way that she like this, even like just I'm paying attention to like little stuff like that. There's a scene where like it's half of it is like it's a circle and it goes around
Hmm.
and it's like the
Hmm.
lockers and then and I'm like, you know how much that piece
Who
alone would
built this shit?
cost?
Right? Yeah,
Like
yeah.
nobody built it. They got all the mics and everything.
Uh huh.
Like it was, yeah. I was like, wow. Like this, it was cool, but it was like, all right, come on now, girl.
So
Like,
when we first saw it, Megs and I were a little mad because it was
oh
like we spent all of season 1 building these characters' story. We spent all of season 2 just watching the story then unfold. And to spend it was a two-part. So the last
yes,
two,
yes,
7
yes.
and
And I didn't get
8,
to see the second part.
which is basically there's not really much. The only like twist at the end is Nate has
we
his
we
dad
find out
arrested or
why
what.
Fez wasn't there. We
Yeah, and
find out, yeah,
Fez's finale. So
yeah.
it's a we kind of thought it was just a cheap like we already saw all this, so we're retelling the story again for two
Okay.
hours. We're watching the same story again that we just got done watching, and so but then
I liked it though because I think most of these people that was the only mirror that they were
right,
ever able to see of themselves. Like none
yeah,
of them, and the realest person in the audience is actually Cassie's mom, whatever, because she's the only one truly celebrating. Because she's like, yeah, you can make fun
she's
of me.
seen it
I know
right.
I'm like that.
Yep,
I'm exactly like that,
yep,
girl. You killed that. Like she was the best. Like she was the
yep.
best audience member there. And but everybody else is feeling some type of way, like Rue was good. Rue was pretty decent.
Rue
Like
loved it.
she,
Rue started the chant
yes,
for when the whole thing
yes.
went down. So yeah,
But
Rue.
everybody else was not happy with their.
I know it's hilarious.
But all those other because Rue, even though she knows she's an addict, she
Uh
knows
huh.
she's a piece of shit,
Uh
right?
huh.
So yeah, only characters that are real with themselves
Love the
appreciated that.
play. Right. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so the more that sat with me then and leading up to this and doing research and seeing all of the drama we'll get into here in a second, but just the anatomy that has come to now 4 years later to this season, I'm now thinking, would that play and the way they did the end of season 2 just be the perfect finale to the series? And
Yes,
just
yes,
a cumbersome story of what we all just witnessed, this kind of 16 episode movie, and here it is, and everyone watches it and their reactions to their own lives and the own choices that they made, like why are you mad at it? So
yes.
I feel like the more it sat with me, the more I kind
They
of
could have put the
thought
bow on that,
that
like
would have been
just.
done. Season 3 not necessary because of cast members no longer being alive, and
Mhm.
Sydney Sweeney and Zendaya don't like each other,
Oh, I
and
didn't know that. I did not know that.
yeah, there was a whole big thing, and I think Sydney Sweeney and the showrunner Sam Levinstein also
Levinson, yeah,
have
they're saying a
a
lot of stuff about him,
public
bro.
spat. Yeah, he's apparently not a good girl, so it could be. It's interesting that we're here.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, speaking of some of that, I don't
yeah.
know if you knew this or not, if it was public knowledge, but since some interviews have been dropping, Barbie Ferreira, who plays Kat,
Okay.
is not in the show. She has decided not
Oh,
to return. She said that seasons 1 and 2, reflecting on her decisions to step away from the show, quote, it really but it wasn't really letting me show my range. In fact, it was kind of diminishing as time went on. And it was like, what
Well,
makes me
she's skinny now
happy
too.
is
I'm
acting
looking
and
at
growing my career. And she's also just not the same person. Yeah,
yeah,
she's lost the weight and is just looking great. So
yeah,
it's interesting. So she won't be there, which then just kind of, we had this whole thing with her like
yes.
being
I
the
thought,
first OnlyFans kind of girl in the show and then the black screen with the mystery guy, like
yep.
that whole thing we'll never get whatever answers to. Could have been, should have been something. So yeah, she won't. That story arc, I guess, will just kind of be put to rest. Kat went to college and
Yeah,
she's
I
not in the
was
show.
wondering where she was at. I was wondering where she was at. And obviously, I knew certain characters we wouldn't see. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect to see Eric Dane in this episode. I didn't expect to see Nate's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even expect to see like Rue's people necessarily.
Yeah. We missed not a lot of characters in this episode. Just kind of like
Yes.
4 or 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, yeah. You would really count on one hand, like how many people. Yeah, I mean, outside of like just secondary
Yeah.
nobodies. Yeah, I mean, so yeah.
And then the last bit of news, I don't know if you heard this or not, but Labyrinth, his music will not be featured in this season at all.
Okay,
A few
okay.
months ago, him and Sam had a bit of a spat. We don't
Oh,
necessarily know the details, but basically, Labyrinth was on his Instagram story, and I apologize, it's going to sound choppy because he wrote it choppy, but he basically said, people will comfortably lie in this industry and still call themselves honest people, so no cap. I decided to remove whatever music I had in it. I spoke to HBO. As far as I know, we are cool. I left because, last truth, when I work for someone, their vision is paramount to me, but I don't let people treat me like shit. Hans Zimmer will now serve as the sole composer of season 3.
okay.
And some comments on Twitter are like pretty much saying, yeah, it was obvious which parts had some Labyrinth music in it or should have, that they obviously then had to replace.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of another maybe reason is why, like, should we have this season? Like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
was the
they're putting this
official?
together with Scotch tape, man.
Right.
Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like they
Yeah.
just so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess money talks. But I would just think that they lost so much money. Yeah, I mean, like waiting for years. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know how that was good for. Like, obviously they probably were locked in, but
Well, and
and maybe
it's
and maybe that's what it was. Maybe they just were locked into contracts. But like, it just don't seem like it's
and
good for
it's and
business to
it's
wait that long. Like,
yeah, and it could be like, and then it just, you kind of have to think to yourself, like, what story would we have gotten if this was
yes,
released
yes,
in 2022,
yes.
2023, 2024, 2025? Because
Yep.
like OnlyFans wasn't a thing then, and like other storylines and plots and
Yeah.
characters who might have just still been alive could have been in the show, and it just a very interesting probably pivot in the writers' room once it got green lit.
Yeah.
But all right, man, let's jump into this episode a little
Let's
bit.
jump into it,
It's
man.
Euphoria season 3, episode 1. It's called Underlay, in reference to our opening scene. They released the first 5 minutes of this on Twitter, so I got to see it a few days
Oh,
early. They also did like a special screening at Coachella right before Bieber's set this weekend. And so this kind of opening scene with her and the border wall was out there this over the weekend, but basically just opening right up to just the chaos of Rue's life since we first last seen her. She's now a drug mule, getting drugs from Mexico into the United States, and this particular method, it was hilarious. I thought the chaos of it perfectly represented Rue as a person and her life and as a character, and just kind of showed us what she's been up to in a very, I think, creative way.
yes, yes. So it's crazy because the scene where we see that she's a mule and
Yeah,
like they show her doing, and I'm like, yo, we've seen, like, I've watched several
hard to watch.
drug cartel
Yep.
shows and movies, whatever, and I'm like, they never really they never actually show us like
Yeah.
what they do, whatever, and like, bro, how many, like, as many like balls that she like a kilo worth? I mean, it just, and then like the person dying, and then like you could see all in the
Mm-hmm.
X-rays. but the thing is though, that stuff was it felt real to me because I know like I actually know somebody, like it was not a friend of mine, whatever, but like being from York, whatever. Um and like just people in the streets, whatever. Like, and I know, like, drug dealers sometimes when they about to get caught, they swallow their
Oh, they got
work.
to
You know
take
what I
the
mean?
bag, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
know somebody that died from that, whatever. And like we're talking about a minuscule amount, in comparison to having a kilo in your stomach, whatever, and rude, swallowing 28 balls or whatever. Like, no, I know somebody that actually died, and I know for a fact they didn't have this much, whatever. It was like
Right, just the
traffic stop and like hurried up, try to twist the bag
in the
open
middle
and
of a
swallow that joint and then died. So like that was crazy. And I'm like, yo, there's no way. And then her skinny little body, I mean,
yeah.
like that was the only part that was to me a little bit unrealistic. I've heard of when I seen the Vaseline, I actually thought they were about to start boofing it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I thought they was gonna go in the
Uh-huh.
back door. You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But then I was like, oh, that just helps it slide down. I could see that, but I'm like, nah, that's way too much, bro.
Isn't
Like
that
that's
crazy?
way too much.
Do you think, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're a little bit smarter than me, when she was teeter-tottering on the border wall with the car, could she just not have put, like, should she just not have put it in neutral and crawled to the back of the car so that it would just tip over to try again?
Yeah,
Like, why?
I thought she could have got some more momentum. And I think really what was happening, she was supposed to go faster up that thing.
Yeah,
But I was like,
exactly.
but that blew my mind. I was like, wait up.
Uh-huh.
Is that what people do?
I
Like, is
think
that like
so. Well, I
because
mean, it's
that put
yeah.
me deep. Like I did not even
Well,
know
and
that
that's
was a
what, and
thing.
Megs didn't even know that that's what it is. I was like, oh yeah, that's the real border wall. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
they actually used the real
Yeah,
one, but
yeah.
like that's what it looks like. That's what it's made out of. That's what you see when you go to the thing,
Yeah.
and it's a very very kind of real situation. But I feel like she could have done a lot better.
Yeah, she
In
should have. Yeah, instead of leaving a car teeter tottering
right,
on the top of, you know what I mean.
right,
So I'm like, what the heck? Because yeah, I knew she. I was like, yeah, I knew she had drugs,
of course,
obviously. And then I'm like, yo, what the hell? How you just gonna leave a car? Like, but also we didn't know who she worked for, who, you know what I mean, what was going on in her life, whatever. So I'm thinking like, damn, what the heck is Rue getting herself into?
yeah,
Um, but then it was weird because right after that, we see where she ends up, and like it was like cognitive dissonance, like nothing made sense. I was like, wait up, time
yeah.
out. Like where is she going? Like, who are these people that she's with? You know?
Well, that's what Meg's, I think, looked down for a minute and was like, wait, where is she? I'm like, she's in Texas. And this is probably just a family of a barn that she found that she wandered into. She
Yeah.
convinced that it is the Miller family. And
Yes.
she convinced them that she's writing an article about drug runners across the border and the communists and all that other stuff. And
That
it's,
was golden. That was good because I was like, wow, the irony. Like they don't even know anything about it. And like these people are like, they're not just country. Like they are like, you know,
survivors, frontier, like,
provincial. They are provincial. Like they know nothing about
they don't go to
the
the
outside
grocery
world.
store, right? Like, there's no,
Yeah,
yeah.
they's like, oh, we don't have internet, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And also, are you, bro? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm not drinking no milk straight out of a cow. I don't know about you.
You know what's
I'm
funny?
not. I'm not doing that, bro.
You know what's
I'm not.
funny?
I need pasteurization and like chemical. Like I need vitamins in it. Like, nah, bro. I'm not drinking that.
So it's so funny. The raw milk is a thing I've never tasted. But my neighbor, who happens to just be the same skin tone color as you, was just the other day randomly out and about. His wife texts Megs because they talk all the time, and was like, yeah, Andre just went out to get raw cow's milk because a buddy of his from work says there's a shop down the street and he really wants to try it. And I thought I literally had that same thought. I said, I turned to Megs, I said, I bet you Carlos doesn't drink raw cow's milk. So funny
Nah,
as
I
shit
stopped drinking.
coincidence. Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped drinking cow's milk a while ago. Like, and obviously,
Yeah.
there's dairy in stuff I eat, like
Right.
cheese and stuff like
Right.
that. But like, gave up. I gave up the cow milk.
Hold up. Yeah, you mic just
Yeah,
disconnected.
yeah.
You're
Yo, yo,
back.
yo, yo. All
You're
right.
good.
I messed with but no, I gave up. Like it was with Monet, man, like
Yeah,
years ago, like probably back in 2012, bro, 2013. And she,
damn.
she put me on the almond milk, and then she's like, hey, you shouldn't really be drinking this, because, bro, I grew up in my dad's house. They still drink whole milk, my dude. Like, you
Nope.
know what I mean? And I thought that was it. But then I would always wonder why anytime I ate cereal, my stomach would hurt. And I always knew, like, yo, cereal is not something I could eat before school, because I'm like, yo, I would always have to poop
Yep.
right after that, Joe, whatever. And yeah, it's because, yeah, that dairy that's like that whole milk,
Yeah.
bro. Like
We
that's
we
damn
didn't
near raw milk. It might as well be raw milk.
and we didn't grow up with milk either. Every time we went to the pediatrician as kids, the doctor said they need more calcium, they need more milk, and dad was like, I can't, they won't. We never drank it. Like it just was never it was never a thing for us. And I feel like I'm the same way now, especially like if I
Yeah.
go to Starbucks, I'll just get almond milk because you're right, that 2% whatever whole milk dairy bleach stuff they sell, it's just it goes
That
right
shit
through
fucks
you.
me. That shit messed me up, bro. Yeah, I can't mess with that. But like, I used to fuck milk up though. Like, I
Yep.
I could drink a glass of milk back in the day. Like chocolate. I used to love making some Nesquik. You know what I mean, or whatever, with some whole milk. But
Right.
nah, today. And so raw milk, and she gonna say, when she said, "That's the best
Tastes
milk I've
really
ever
good,
tasted,"
yeah.
you're lying. You're lying. You're
Well,
lying,
so we have to
Ruth.
also remember that she's probably hasn't eaten in like 24 to 40. Like she's probably like she's been walking, she's been in Mexico. The thing she probably only
Yes.
thing she has in her system is probably like an 8 ball, like in a baggie. Like so it's I think, and especially too we see at the dinner scene with them, like she wants to leave, but like it's also a free meal. So like she's definitely gonna
Yes.
stay. And so the other thing about this dinner too is, and we mention it a few times, I think throughout this episode. It's mentioned a few times throughout seasons past, and I think it's probably maybe potentially going to play a role in this season's storytelling, and that's Rue battling her fight with religion. She's had multiple
Yes.
conversations in this episode with the family, with Lexi, with our new friend Alamo, who we'll get to. But it's
Oh my God.
a
Yeah, I want to talk about Alamo for
so
sure. But
so it's a I think religion with Rue is going to play this kind of role. Whereas like in the first season, she was battling with she's always battling with drugs and addiction. So that's just
yes.
kind of her main demon. But her sub demon, I believe, in like the first season into the second one was kind of figuring out her sexuality. Like is it
Yep.
guys? Is it girls? And now in this season, I don't know if you caught it, but when talking to Ali at the diner,
Yes.
she's like, I'm a lesbian. And then we see her in the strip club with all the girls in heaven. So she's, I think, figured that out through Jules and maybe her interactions with a couple guys along the way in season 2, especially. But now she's kind of, that's her definitive mark. She knows that. She likes it. It is what it is. I think she even gets a little girlfriend here in a couple of episodes, one of Alamo's girls potentially. But it's so now I think she's finally coming to the next battle and figuring out what it is she's going to do with religion. Is she
Yeah.
is it this family? Is a few people online were talking like maybe that's how this season ends, with her going back to that family and just kind of
Oh.
being a farm girl, and the daughter that dropped her off at the bus station,
Yes.
she was giving
Yes.
Rue a couple looks. So maybe
Yeah.
that might be an untapped kind of relationship there. Who
It
knows?
could be that. I think she was just kind of looking at her as like a like just
This girl's
somebody. She
free.
was just
Yeah.
looking up to her, like dang, like this girl get to just do whatever the hell she want to
Could be
do,
either
and
way.
I'm
Yeah.
and I'm and I'm trapped. It's crazy though, because remember in season 2 when Rue meets Lori, and basically she kind of says like, yo, like like basically she said like, yeah, if you fuck
If you
this up,
screw me
we'll
over, I'll
traffic you.
sell
Like
you
we're
to
gonna,
some fucked up people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is this a better alternative? Would you rather like I think only I know the answer, but like, yeah, I mean, as bad as it is that she's a drug mule, but like I'm like, this is a better alternative
Yeah.
than, you know.
Well, and I think that just speaks to Rue's character. She's always flying by the seat of her pants, and she's always taking it one step at a time. So when
Yeah.
opportunities come up, she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to do what I have to do, bare minimum, and then figure out how to get out of it from there, which is obviously
Yep.
what she's doing with Ali. But at the same time, it would seem that as if she's living with Lori, Her
Yes.
and Faye are kind of like in this little room together, and like it's a dysfunctional family, but like it's a business still. So
Yes. Yes.
it's I think yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? Yeah, you would have like she's
Yeah.
gonna be alive. She has a place to live. She has food to eat. Even though they use the same strainer for the spaghetti that they use to poop out the drugs.
Oh my God.
And
Yes, I didn't. Hey, oh, that was so. I hate when shows do that though. Like when they're give alluding to something
uh-huh.
and then they plop something right into the
Isn't
and
that
I'm like,
gross?
oh,
Nasty.
that's like Hell's watching Hell's Kitchen. Like in the cutscenes of Hell's Kitchen, whenever like they go to commercial,
Uh huh.
and
Oh,
it'll
the
be some,
steak. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
it'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
something whatever. But like that's I knew that was gonna happen, and they slopped the spaghetti right. I was like, oh.
So I think, man, yeah, with the now, I thought it was hilarious. Like the whole
Yes,
like
yes,
you owe
yes.
me 10 grand, but 20% interest every month for 46 months is actually $43 million, or you can run drugs for Lori. So obviously she didn't have a choice. And I think it's
But is
too.
that unlimited? Is that until you earn 4 point some million dollars, or is it $100,000? Like
I
can
think
somebody buy
they
her out?
$100,000 worth of services. They didn't really touch on
I
how
know,
or
I
how much
know,
or
I
what it is, and
know.
I'm assuming this whole Alamo situation will unfold and kind of
Yes, get her out of
the
this,
whole
maybe.
thing. So yeah, interesting. So she goes and sees Lexi, and this Lexi's a second character we kind of see and kind of get an update. We're getting
Yes.
updates on everyone's lives since high school. Half of
Yep.
them are assistants. Lexi is pretty much an assistant on a show, has a smidge of input, but not really. Kind of just intern level, out of high school jobs. It's fascinating that none of them wanted to go to college for
Well,
anything. Like
I
we're
would see,
just
but that's the thing. It said 4 years later. I assume they did go
ah
to college.
okay. You're
This is
probably
four
right.
years later, so
Right,
I
right,
assume
right.
that all of them, like at least the ones that have a career. So I assume
Sure,
that Lexi went to
sure.
college. I assume that Maddie went to college.
Which would have been a better
Ma-
story to tell, don't you think? Like
it,
Maddie and Lexi getting fucked up in
in
college.
college,
Like, yeah, that
yes,
makes
yeah,
sense.
frats and
Yeah,
sororities and
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Yes, it would have been. They
Oh,
could
dude,
have really,
Maddie running a sorority as an arc kind of
yes,
thing, like a
bro,
sorority hazing would have been perfect for this show. Missed
bro.
opportunity should have been.
Miss, yeah, but I think too, it's like that's the thing. That's the thing with HBO shows. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they get so big that like
Right.
you almost feel like it makes no sense for you. Why are you doing
Yeah.
TV? Like
Right.
why are you doing TV? And I know like Sydney Sweeney has a status,
Mm-hmm.
but like she gets a lot of criticism because her movies suck. Like every movie that she's done is not good. Like you know what I mean? Like even though she gets like good
I'm
roles,
showing this
she's
clip to
getting
Megs. Megs is
she's getting
obsessed.
good roles. Like
Uh huh.
nobody watches her movies. Like and
Megs.
that's probably why she hates Zendaya because Zendaya has always been
Zendaya's movies are the
that's the
shit.
that's the
Right.
Disney girl
Yeah.
that turned
Yep.
into, a superstar, right? I mean, so
So Megs loves the Cindy Sweeney movies. It's a staple in our household. She's been trying for weeks to get me to see the new one, The Housemaid or whatever. Even though TikTok ruined it for me, I know everything that happens, but it's fine. She loves them. She is like Sydney Sweeney. The cheesy rom coms are like her shit. So like
oh
she thinks Sydney Sweeney is like the best thing ever. But it's interesting, man. Yeah, where the paths they've all gone. So,
yes.
yeah, Lexi's his assistant. This is the first time we hear of Fezco. Now, this kind of irritated the shit out of me a little bit. Lexi backspinning on her love for Fezco, just like you like almost you did a whole play for this man. Like I
Yes.
understand that maybe you haven't seen or talked to him in 4 years, but like what happened? Because first of all, you knew he was a drug dealer.
Yes.
You watched him beat the shit out of Nick Jacobs' face at the New Year's Eve party,
And
and you
she was supposed to
still
put a scene in the play and
there
she
was supposed to be
didn't,
a whole scene about him in the play, and like you were clearly falling for this man, even though he had flaws. So, like, not wanting to talk to him when he inevitably got arrested for his crimes is kind of crazy. Like, what?
Well, it's crazy too because since I did not watch the finale, I remember Ashtray dying. I
Yes.
remember the shootout, but like
Yes.
so I didn't see it. So I'm thinking like, and I'm like, I know the actor died, but
Hmm.
I was thinking like, oh, they both. I thought Ashtray and Fesco died, and
It
then when
was
So when they're talking about him being in jail for,
Yep.
I was like, oh, I thought he died, like whatever. But I'm like, all right, I'm just watching. I'm just
They
watching.
never
So
showed him die.
okay,
Ash
okay,
Ash shot him through the door in the hip here. They just showed him bleeding out. The last we see of Fesco are them putting cuffs on him and taking him out of the house. And the first thing I said was, oh, they're probably not gonna treat him. He'll probably just bleed
yeah,
out and die off scene.
yeah.
But 30 years in prison, so I mean, good, just good enough excuse. Of course, respect to the
Yeah, like
character.
you
And
don't
his,
have to depict him. Yeah, like you can get away with that.
it's kind of upsetting. Sam Levinstein, showrunner, did an interview and said that he was doing his hardest to get this show done, not now, like years ago, because
Yeah,
he knew August would eventually end up back on drugs, and that this show was something that he looked forward to. So he would have calls with him regularly, like, "Hey, I'm getting it. Don't worry. Like, I'm gonna send you some scripts, some lines to memorize, just to keep his mind sharp and off
yeah.
of the other way." And inevitably, things happened. It was too late. So,
Damn.
unfortunate story, man. Yeah, we loved him. He was kind of this, and same story, kind of Mac Miller loved kind of
Yes.
character. Like, yeah, like we all understood why Lexi fell in love with Fesco. Like he
Yep.
was the nice guy. He was, and I told,
Smart. He's probably smart. He's smarter than everybody. Like because like all these kids want to like be experience life like
yep,
for the first time.
yep,
He's the only one that has
who's been
already
doing it.
experienced all. He's experienced all that. He's seen all this stuff, and he's able to just kind of. He was wise. Like he was the
Yeah.
wisest character of them, and he's just kind of sitting back looking at them like they're all little kids, like
And
dumbass little kids.
And
Like
and two, I think, I was talking to Megs in the car the other day about like where they could have taken that story for him in this season if he had been alive. And I really think it would have been super cool to see, because in season 2, we open up, we get his backstory. His grandma's this
yes,
gangster. She'll go in and
yes,
stab you in the nuts if you owe her $5,000. Like, she took him, raised him, got
yep,
Ashtray as payment from another client. Like, just
yep,
she was a pimp, right? This kind of
yep.
gangster little pimp lady. And obviously we see her in the bed. He's taking care of her. And in season 2, and I think maybe end of season 1, whenever Ashtray killed Mouse, and then Ashtray killed the other informant, we kind of then get that like Fesco's kind of just this lovable bear, and he
Yeah,
didn't really have what it took to fill his grandma's shoes. He
for
needed
sure, for
Ashtray
sure,
as his muscle. When things got wrong, he bashes someone over the head with a hammer. Fesco
bro.
wasn't capable of that, and I feel like with Ash dying at the end of season 2, that would have given Fez everything he needed to fill those shoes of his grandma.
Oh, you think he would have been
you
like he would
killed
have
my.
went cutthroat and like
He would have like chapter transformed,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and then been like, yo, I'm not like he's killing on the regular now. Like, he would have been that kind
yeah.
of Alamo character to kind of maybe potentially Fezco becomes the big bad of season 3 because of
Okay.
how, like, you know what I mean? He's got this empire now. He's killed Mouse. Now Ashtray's dead. He's coming for Lori. Maybe who knows how they could have spun it, but. So sorry for rambling. Just I'm a little
No,
obsessed
it's
with this
good. This is
character
all
and
good. This is all good, man.
this
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. So the only mention of Rue's family that we get in this episode is she tells Lexi that Gia is doing great and top of her class. I don't know if we find out later if that's the truth or not, or
I just think she's lying about everything because like she clearly like lying to where her whereabouts were, like saying, "Oh, in Arizona somewhere."
yeah,
Whatever. I'm thinking like, dang, she's still lying her ass off,
yeah, yeah,
like lying ass rude.
yeah,
Like get out of here,
yeah.
get out of here, Ruby Bennett, get out of
So
here.
and that's pretty much it with Lexi. We get some more updates. Again, they talk about religion. Lexi calling the Christians alleged cults. I mean, it's just kind
I
of
know.
which is interesting because
She's like, I'm not gonna be friends with a Christian. I was like, yo, what a line, what a bar.
so we're pretty sure in real life she is. I don't know if you know this or not, but Lexi, the actress who plays her, is Judd Apatow's daughter.
Yes,
Who
yes.
who we
Yes,
know
that
is Jewish. So that would kind of make sense there if they just brought that in from her personal life. I'm not 100% sure on that, but those are just a few facts if you want to put them together.
Yes, yeah, that is who she is. Yes, that's crazy.
So then we get to Nate and Cassie.
Oh my
And
God.
and this is, I think, where I mean, are we hashtag Team Nate now? Like, why is Nate Jacobs the most likable character of this episode? Like, I mean,
Definitely the most reasonable
he seems
yeah.
grounded.
I don't know if I'm
He
going I don't know if I'm going with likable yet.
okay,
I
okay,
mean, I'm still reserved because
okay,
he's a fucking weirdo.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, and he's a bitch. Like, yeah, I mean, he's a little bit of a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he snitched on Fez and all that, whatever. And like it was cool. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind that he was going against his father because his father's
Yeah.
like made him who he is, like a
Mm-hmm.
sicko.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nah, I'm not. He's not likable. But yeah, he definitely has more put together. But I feel like some of that is fake because that's the thing. Season 2 was all about like his dad like telling like yo nobody knows who you are and him even coming to the
Mm,
realization that like he's fucked up and accepting it, but also like his dad's pointing out like yeah no one knows who you like, no I don't even know who you are, nobody knows who
mm,
you are, like
mm-hmm.
you criticize me because the dad finally, Eric Dane's
Yep.
character Cal,
Yep.
he finally is like,
Came out essentially.
came out and
Yeah.
like feeling himself, whatever. And then he's like realizing, like, damn, like I fucked you up to the point, like, yo, you don't even know who you are. So like for me, watching him, even though he is like it's put together, he runs his dad's business, whatever. This is like I'm waiting for the snap part. Like, yeah, I mean,
Well,
and I think his girl Cassie is gonna make him.
Well, here's my take on that. And I feel like it might be a bit of opposite to what you just said because I
Okay.
think so. What we've learned from this episode is obviously Nate's taken over Dad's company. He's got this construction project. It's gonna be a senior living retirement center, senior home or
Hmm.
something. And all of his money is wrapped up in this project. So like the
Yes.
cash flow that he's claiming he has is not necessarily the cash flow he probably does. And so I feel like right now he's putting on a facade. And I think that with Cassie's OnlyFans proposal of like, hey, let me pay for the flowers, all I gotta do is pop my puss on the OF, and it's like then she's got him by the balls because at the end of the conversation, like the dinner with the candles was
Yes.
basically like him saying, "Okay, well, what kind of photos?" So
Yes.
I think he knows that this construction project is tying up his money. Hence the reason why he's not just because he's rich. They're rich. He could shell out 50 grand for flowers if he wanted to. But if you don't have the money, then you get a little defensive and you're like,
Yes.
hey man, what about 5 grand? And by the
But he's
way,
not wrong though. Wanting to
no,
spend 50
no,
grand
no,
on flower, he's not wrong.
no, not wrong at all. And by the way, as your local wedding expert, as
Yes.
of 2026 in Pennsylvania, where we're at, average cost of a wedding is 36 to $40,000 after venue,
Yeah.
vendors, catering, and costs. In Los Angeles, where this show is based, upwards of $75,000. So
Oh.
I've only ever heard of someone spending 100 grand on a wedding here one time, and like florals maybe were like 10 grand
Yeah.
because they were lining a whole tent canopy with them and this and that, and they had their parents were just paying out the ass. And so 50 grand for flat, I don't know what this florist is promising her or where she found her or what type of
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian floral shop she found, but
Yeah.
like, baby girl, just take
See,
the
it almost makes me
like,
now that you're saying now as you're talking, it's making me think like she wants to spend that much money because like currently she has no access to money, whatever. I think she's gonna like there's no way like is she that dumb? Like is like I almost feel like she's not that dumb to want just $50,000 flowers just because she thinks her man or are they're not actually married. They're only they're not actually married. So like
yeah,
so his fiance, like she can't actually think that that's a good decision. So like it almost makes me think like she's asking for more because she's trying to make money in any type of way she can. So it's
maybe.
either I'm gonna tell him an inflated price so I could skim off of that, or you know what I mean. And then obviously she wants to find different ways to.
Well,
to make money too.
and
But I don't
yeah, and
know.
I think the other
Is she
thing,
that dumb? Is she? I don't know. If
I
she's
think
that dumb.
she is based on what we've seen in
Yeah.
seasons past. But the other thing too is like in this episode alone, and then in I think one other trailer, Nate drives a Cybertruck, which is 80 grand. He also
Yes.
gets out of a McLaren, which I think is like probably more than 80 grand. And in a clip from an upcoming episode, Cassie's driving around in a brand new convertible Mercedes. So like,
Oh
I
wow.
don't know, maybe sell one of those to afford
Yeah.
half the price of flowers. Like, can we not?
Yeah.
We can't compromise on
That's what I'm saying.
$20,000 worth of flowers versus 50. So there's, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, is this because when she was by the pool with her friend trying to convince her friend that this is a not maybe a get rich quick kind of thing, or I think I could do this just because of me and my features. She's trying to, I think, do anything she can to convince herself that it's a good idea. If her friend thinks
Yes.
it's a good idea, and the only way that Nate will think it's a good idea is if she's helping. And so there's no way she's going to convince
Mm.
Nate that she should be on OnlyFans because he's rich and he can just give her the money and they can dress
Yep.
up together. Why does she need to put it on the internet? Because she wants to. Because I think in the clip that we saw, it was very brief, and if you didn't catch it, you didn't catch it. There's a small clip of her, Cassie, sitting up against the wall, looking at Maddie's Instagram,
Yes.
and
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah. She's definitely
and
comparing
it's
her life to
and it's
hers.
Maddie with all of the celebrities she gets to interact with on set and manage. So it's
Yep.
basically Maddie with Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashians of their universe. And
Yeah.
so with Maddie being so known and putting this facade on social media, because then we obviously see she's just a call girl making
Yes.
$800 every 2 weeks. She's not this what
Yes.
she's putting on online. So
Yep.
if Maddie can be this person online, why can't Cassie? And what better way to do it than sell OnlyFans?
Yep. Yep.
So I think, yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to get interesting here. I think that storyline, I'm honestly curious to see where it goes, not
Yeah.
just because of the
Yeah.
outfits, but I'm pretty sure based on the trailer, Maddie starts helping Cassie with the account.
Yeah, because it made it
And
seem like she was like a pimp or some sort. I mean,
manager,
like yeah,
yeah,
manager. Yeah, yeah, like that.
and and
But yeah, I was gonna get to that. Like, it's funny that how as much as Cassie wants these things and she's scrolling looking
uh-huh,
at Maddie, she doesn't even realize that
yep,
she's living a whole facade too.
yep,
So like,
yep.
no one right now is another theme, just not being real with yourself.
Well,
You know what I'm
and if
saying?
we can talk off air, but if you want the ins and outs of how being an OnlyFans manager works, Meg's was one for a few years, so I can give you all the
Oh,
spicy details there. I mean, it's a fascinating industry. I know all about it. So we'll see where that goes, man. I mean, is this this has been the biggest talk. This is the reason everyone's watching this season. The only thing that we can talk about on TMZ is the fact that Sydney Sweeney is starting an OnlyFans on the show Euphoria. And like, that's kind of the driving force so far, at least based on what I've seen. Obviously, as the season
yes,
comes out, we'll
yes.
get more, but she's going viral. She's in like a baby outfit.
Oh
She's in the
wow.
dog outfit. Oh, you haven't seen this? This is now what TMZ's reporting on. It's she coming up in one of the episodes. Instead of the dog outfit, she's got like a baby pacifier in her mouth and a little bonnet on, and she's like spread eagle on the couch with her tits out. And so where it's is a
That's wild.
very interesting choice to, like,
Yes.
out of everything, like, I would have much rather like give why not give her the sugar baby storyline instead of Jewel?
Yeah.
Like, it's a very interesting choice, and I'm curious to see what we
Yeah.
see, I guess
Yeah,
that's
yeah, because I would say this is that, like, in terms of storylines,
mhm.
this episode like left a lot to be desired, like where it's like you don't we don't know where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really
Yeah.
know, is it gonna be full redemption? Is it gonna be a little bit dark where it's like, no, there ain't no happy endings
Well,
and
and
you know?
that's honestly, I mean, we'll get to Alamo in 1 second, but that's the last line I have in my notes. Will Rue have a happy ending? And
Yeah.
obviously we'll find out, but interesting kind of situation. So we meet this season's big bad, obviously gearing up. Our boy Alamo, who's
Alamo
basically
Brown. So shout out to Alamo Brown. The actor though, his name is Adewale. Adewale. I had it. I
I
had it.
wasn't gonna try to do it because as soon as I saw it, I
His
said, "What the?"
so, but I know this actor,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Uh-huh.
This is Adewale Akinnuo Agbaji. I'm gonna just say Adewale. All right. So Adewale,
He was
we
on
know
Lost.
him.
I
So
know. Yes, go. Yeah.
if you want, he's from what? What
He
show
was
were you
on
gonna say?
Lost
Oh well,
because
that and I'm not saying
years
that's not
ago.
an iconic role, but
Yeah.
his iconic role in HBO lore,
Hmm.
everybody remembers him as Adebisi from the show Oz, right? And
Ooh.
so he played this homo thug, you know what I mean? In
Those don't
Oz when he
exist, do they, Carlos?
no, they do. They
Oh
definitely
well,
do.
you
They do definitely do.
know.
No, but like no, he plays this like Jamaican like homo
Uh-huh.
thug and
Uh-huh.
like but he's like the baddest dude in the prison and like you don't want to cross him. He's a scary guy. He's a guy that yeah, I mean you don't want to see him face to face and you definitely don't want him behind your back either. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna take you either way. You know what I'm saying? He
Ah!
gonna take you either way. So
No, I
seeing
love this
seeing
guy. Yeah, yeah.
Adebisi, yeah, I mean, because
Yep.
that's what I call him because that's what most and like people knew him because he wore his hat like he wore his hat like it would be barely on his head like and it would just be like a beanie and it was just like and he would just like walk strutting around and like yo just streaking like putting fear in people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, it was exciting to see him, and I'm like, and he's a British actor, so like,
Mm-hmm.
and he has been in American things, like, and people might know him for like a cameo here and there. When you look at his IMDb, it's hard to keep up with if it's not an American show or movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he is like prolific. He's born and raised in London, but yeah, obviously he of African descent of some nationality. But like no, he like seeing him, I was like, oh, this is about to be crazy because I already knew who he was. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So um, it's fitting. It's
It's
fitting
his
that he's
character.
gonna
He
be
plays his
the
character. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
fitting. It's
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
So
Yeah.
Rue's there to drop off some product from Lori to the girls at that Alamos Club, and it was laced with a little bit of fentanyl. Do we think this was like an attempt to set up Rue by Lori? Is what a lot of people are saying is in this right before Rue got to Alamos house, we see a shot of her getting into the van and little buddy takes the head off the chicken.
Yes.
That's supposed to be like foreshadowing, like Lori's almost done with Rue, so we're gonna take the head off the
Oh.
chicken. So I'm wondering if they on purpose gave Rue bad drugs, and then of course Alamo's gonna be like, "You gave me bad drugs, boom, shoot you," to get rid of the
See, I
prey.
think no, because I don't think that's necessarily. I think like yo, there's a contingent of people which I don't understand the fentanyl thing. You know what I mean? Whatever, because it
Yeah.
just doesn't seem like
Why would you
it
want to
doesn't
kill
seem
your
like it's
customers?
wise. Because yeah,
Yeah,
because like they
just
don't know
dead.
what they're
Yep.
doing. These dealers are not like scientists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know the properties and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like even if it can increase the high, it just seems like too high of a risk.
Yeah, it's weird to me. I don't
Um,
get it.
I don't get it, and but the thing is, I think I don't know if that was necessarily a setup. I think
Okay,
that there's just people that get down like that
could
because
be.
yeah, we seen fentanyl in season one, like the dude Mouse, like
True, gave him a
a
bump.
little
Yep,
drop of it had Rule going crazy.
for
You know what I'm
3 days.
saying? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, yeah, nah, bro. Like but I don't understand like because what's the cost of that and then to add it to your I don't get
Well,
it.
I think
I don't
that's
get
the
it.
point. It's like it's cheap. That's the point because it's cheaper. So you take the Coke and then you split it in half and you put half fentanyl, half Coke, and now you have twice as much Coke. Then you can
Yeah.
sell it for twice as much.
Well, I
What's
get it.
bigger
I
than
get cutting, but
yeah.
like, and I guess yeah, that's the only way to cut it, but still be potent. I guess, but it
Yeah,
just
I don't know. I
too
don't know.
risky, bro.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't really know too much about it, but it's it's just never made sense to me. Why would you
Yeah,
do it? Then
yeah,
your client dies, and then no one's here to buy your product if all your clients are
yep.
dead. So that happens. And so basically we kind of get this, like, she's trying to work for him. She wants out. Like, obviously she doesn't want to be swallowing bags with you know, the other girl in Mexico for the rest of her life. She knows that's probably going to come to an end soon. So why not try to progress her career a little bit and upgrade from Lori to go work for Alamo as a fixer, club manager, just someone who's not running drugs for someone else. Basically,
Yes.
anything that she can do for him to help keep the ladies in line, I guess, something along those lines. She's gonna try to do. But then obviously the OD happens, and you know, Rue starts spilling her guts, says she believes in God, and you know, Alamo seemed a little sympathetic when she was like, "Yeah, Lori was pimping me when I was in high school," and they're like, "High school?
Whoa, high school.
Whoa,
Yep.
whoa!" So saying
Yep.
what we all have been thinking for the last 6 years.
Yes.
And so it's let's let God decide your fate situation.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah. That scene was crazy.
this scene was
Yes.
crazy. I mean, again, we knew nothing was going to happen to Rue, but people were calling this her Emmy performance. Just as soon as the apple gets shot, like the laughter and the. I took that as that was probably her biggest high. Like, no amount of drugs probably gave her
Yes.
that amount of adrenaline and life flashing before you. Like, she took it like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing else
Yeah.
you can really do.
Oh, for real.
And so just the laughter and the coming to realization, and then there is a split moment. It's kind of fast as she falls to the ground. Her hands are up praying. So in that moment, she could potentially now believe in God. So we'll kind of see how that religion aspect continues to play out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not mad at that kind of storyline. I
Yeah.
don't know if that necessarily makes sense, but we'll see.
Well, yeah, and that's the only thing. It's like when if you're asking the question, will Rue have a happy ending? It's like it's confusing because like it's just she's already in a criminal enterprise, only going to get into like another criminal enterprise. You know what I mean? Whatever. And so like this does seem to be her only way out, though. Like
Yeah.
if Alamo decides to, like, you know, and oh yeah, the king of pussy. Like, I mean, like that's KOP,
Self-title,
right?
you know what I mean? We didn't make that up. That's
Self-proclaimed.
self-proclaimed.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think this is it was an interesting first episode. But
Mhm.
yeah, like it does have you guessing though. It's like, oh, where y'all really gonna take this? How far are we gonna turn this up? How violent is Alamo Brown gonna become? You know what I mean? Like, what are we gonna see? Is Lori, like, are we gonna see, like, now Lori and them, they really don't play, and they really want to have Rue as basically a drug slave forever? Like,
Yeah,
what's,
well, so in some trailers and some clips coming up, because that's the end of the episode there.
Yep.
Well, one quick question: do you know who? I just assumed you knew who's the actor who plays Alamo's like right hand man, who like at the end was like tweaker shit. Like
Oh,
is he a
I've
sports
seen him in
guy?
stuff.
Who is?
No, I've seen him in stuff. I can't really point out who he is, but I have seen him in stuff. I've seen the young boy, the young boy that was like the
With the
one that was
afro, who
giving
was
it
trying
to
to
the
get
girl.
yeah. Oh no!
Like
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
younger,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I've seen him as a child. Like he plays like the kid in a couple different shows that I've
Okay.
watched or whatever. But yeah, no, I could not put my finger on it.
He's somebody I've seen him before.
Yeah, I've definitely seen
figure out
him
who he
for
is.
sure. Yeah.
But so yeah, man, that's the end of the episode, and so based on what we've seen in some clips and trailers so far, I mean, we get a confrontation between Lori and Alamo. We see Rue like strapping up with like machine guns and shit. So like, there's might be an all out war. Rumors in the Twitter sphere are that like Cassie endures like one of the most like gruesome scenes of the series ever. Don't know what's going on there.
Man.
And I think her wedding, I think the wedding is also like episode 3. So I'm not sure how fast tracked we're going to do all this stuff. Nate's getting into trouble. I'm assuming he borrows money or gets in bed with the wrong people, kind of running the business, making mistakes in that way.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, who knows? This is different. We don't have
It's
lore.
different.
There's no
Yes.
audiobooks we can go
Yep.
listen to. There's no spoilers. The only type of spoilers we might potentially probably get are, I know that the press already has the first 3 episodes. So
Dang.
those screeners are out, reviews are in. I mean, so far it's the worst rated of all 3 seasons. That
Yes.
goes
Yes.
without saying, but at the end of the day, how would you rate this episode, man? Did you like it? Are we excited for the season?
I still liked it, even though, like I said, like even though it left a little bit to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of, visually, it still looks great,
Yep.
right? The show still looks great. I ain't gonna lie, like my review is kind of almost influenced even by us talking about it because I didn't know, yeah, I didn't realize that the girl Barbie Ferreira wasn't gonna be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we knew Fesco wasn't gonna be, but yeah, like I don't know, it kind of takes away from just some of the characters. So like I don't know. I think last night, I mean, it was better than average. I would say, yeah, I mean, 6.5, 7 would be high. I
Yeah.
think it wasn't that great. I mean, but it wasn't like horrible either.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually wonder, what do you think? Yeah, I guess, what do you have it rated
Yeah, I
as?
think I'm right there with you. I'm excited to be back in the world.
Yes.
I think could we have taken this elsewhere as far as storyline and plotline? Yeah. Does it make sense for the time what they're in and where we're at? Of course. Like it's inevitable that one of these girls ended up on OnlyFans. So why not? If we've already, at the end of the day, if we've already sold and created Sydney Sweeney into this kind of role, because spoiler alert, all of her movies are essentially the same. It's if her tits aren't out, she's not doing the movie. Is
Yep.
basically what her
Yep.
contract states, and so allegedly, and so it's. I think at the end of the day, yeah, I'm right there with you, like a 6.5 out of 10 for sure. I'm hoping we get a Night of the Seven Kingdoms effect where like we get to episode 3,
Oh.
episode 2, episode 3, and like we're all in and we can't wait to see what happens at the end with these characters in this story because
Yeah.
we haven't really seen half of them yet. We haven't seen Jules. Hopefully we'll get her next
Yes,
next
and
week.
Jules is supposed to be in the show, right?
Yes, Jules is in the
Okay.
show. She's a
Okay.
sugar
Okay.
baby now for a guy. I think
Yeah, I remember
she's
them saying that, but like we didn't see, like they didn't like even
not yet.
introduce that or
Yeah,
whatever.
not yet. We've barely saw Maddie, just kind of in a flashback.
Yep. Yep.
None of
Well, she was,
Bruce
yeah, she was, well, she was in a regular scene. It
a
wasn't
little
just a
bit.
flat, like it was like, yeah, it was a little scene, whatever. Um,
But
I,
yeah,
I wanted to read some of these, and this is on a platform on Instagram, called Telegraph, whatever. But I guess it was giving some reviews of the show. I just kind of wanted to read
okay.
some of these out loud
Yeah.
because I just think it's like it's just funny, like how people perceive things now, but they didn't perceive it like that then. Okay, so
Mm.
one, it says Euphoria now just feels like the misogynistic fantasies of a creepy old man. It wasn't that before. It wasn't that before.
Well, we open with season 1, episode 1, as a creepy old man fulfilling his
That's
fantasies
what I'm
with
saying. So
Jules.
to
So
say now it feels like that, this was tame in terms of
true,
if we're talking about like
true,
what we seen in 2 and in season 1,
true.
this was light.
Yeah.
This was like it was the most graphic thing was the fact that they swallowed drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
that was the craziest
right.
thing. It says with season 3 of Euphoria, Sam Levinson has gone full pervert. And
Mm.
for the first time, the show isn't good enough to temper it. And again, and this is a woman named Eleanor Halls that said that. And I'm thinking like, y'all was not calling this man no pervert 6 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember hearing crazy criticism about the show and like saying crazy. And I'm not. He might be a bad person. I don't even know. Like he
Hmm.
might be. He might be. It says Levison has trapped all his female leads in the performance or exploitation of sex work, and the camera peers and leers at them at every shot. again, I feel like that's what this show was like before. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking up the dates that it came out, and season 1 was 2019 and season 2
was
was
2020.
2022.
Yeah, so we're talking 7 year. This is a 7 year period that we talking about. You know what
Well,
I'm
my
saying?
my first thought went to just kind of what we talked about before the show and just society and the Me Too movement. And so 2019 was on the cusp of that, and pre-COVID is just like a mirage now of what reality kind of used
Mm.
to be. I feel like, at least. So I mean, it's going on now 7 years from that. We're now in a lot of, we're in a different time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
but I feel like we're in a time where a lot of this stuff that they're talking about
it's
is way more
normal,
accepted. It's
right?
way more normalized. I mean, whatever. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
and the thing is,
a
OnlyFans was around back then too.
true
Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then
2019,
there was other
2020.
sites that people were getting stuff off of, Cam Soda and all this other like
Yeah,
there was a lot of different like that web cam girls have been a thing for
sure.
since the internet started. Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Well,
So
Cat was what? So right, and so that's
yes.
that's the other thing. In like season 1 and season 2, Cat was essentially
Yes,
OF. So like,
and potentially underage, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know if she was 18 yet, you know what I mean? Like and so that was yeah, so like if they're saying that now,
yeah,
like no, like it was that before or whatever and like it's just I don't know, I just feel it's a little bit revisionist history, a little bit of
the
it. I'm not trying to
reviews.
like say this is a
Yeah,
morally good show or anything like that,
yeah.
but like
And I don't know too much about Sam. I know I've heard some things and some rumors and rumblings in the Twitter sphere, and him and Sydney Sweeney apparently have had their spats, but it's a situation where it's like, if half of those things were true, then why is HBO allowing them to put this on and do these
yep.
things? So there's got to be some inner workings there. Who knows how that all is going to play out? But I think that, man, especially with what you and I think we're pretty on the same level when it came to, and I know this is completely left field, but the whole Mario movie controversy, that like we're in this weird like review kind of like bomb slash like, if it's not the perfect fan fiction, like give us whatever the subreddit tells you to give us.
Yep.
If it's not that, like George R. R. Martin, like whoever like is making the shows and the seasons, then we don't want it. And
Yes,
so
yes,
when
yes.
you tell us that you're making a Super Mario Galaxy movie and it only has a little bit to do with the Super Mario Galaxy video game, well
Yeah.
then the purist and all of the people who are looking for that, now they're off the edge. Now they're like, this is the worst thing ever. They're putting the scenes from and levels from Super Mario Odyssey and Super Mario Galaxy and vice versa and all this and the franchise and the characters, when in reality, it's not. I even saw one of the dudes I did a wedding for posted about this and was like, well, duh. When Mr. Game and Watch showed up at the end, it was obvious this was made for adults and not kids. And I'm like, what reality do you live in? Because
Yeah.
this is the
No.
direct definition of a child's movie. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, you'll agree with me. This has ADHD slop written all over it,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah, yeah.
probably the only critique I give it, because
Yes, yes,
because
yes. It was
me,
noisy. It was
yeah, of
noisy.
course, I'm constantly like, oh, character level, character background,
Yep.
character, because I knew Ollie and Megs were going to ask me, oh, where's this from? What was this? What was that?
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's a little exhausting in that aspect, but like, it's a Mario movie from
Well, and
Illumination. Like, this, it
also we're
wasn't
talking
an
about both movies were only an
A24.
hour and a half. It's so
Right.
I like that. Like, cause I'm tired of 2 hour, 2.5 hour movies, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when like, yeah, there was a run where kids' movies was 2 hours long. Bro, that's too long, man. That's way too long. Nah, man. So like yeah, like the Mario movie, it was what it was, man. And like again, I didn't look at it as like this deep thing that it was supposed to be because
Yeah.
Mario himself has never been a deep, full of
We
depth
don't have
character.
right. There's no
You don't
the
know
only
nobody. That's my point.
there's no lore,
Nobody
right?
knows Mario's story unless you fucking played all the games.
Right.
Like nobody really
Right.
knows his full
And
story.
I think that was the issue. I think what
Yeah,
we will see for the third one is that they will create a title and not use a video game title again because
yeah,
the
yeah,
fandom was expecting a full Mario Galaxy game adaptation
yeah.
because the
Weird.
first one was just an intro to all the characters in Bowser and the same story as it always is. But now that we've adapted the Galaxy timeline, it's like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? So
Yeah.
it's an interesting situation, and I think people, especially in 2026, just love to stir up controversy. And if everyone was coming out and saying, "Well, Euphoria is great, Sydney Sweeney's great, it's great, it's great," yeah, I think a lot of people would watch it, but I think what would make even more people watch it and be like, what's going on, is if people came out and said, there's drama with Sydney Sweeney. She's doing OnlyFans. It's a controversy. That's the lowest reviewed season so far. Reviews are in, and critics are calling it not the same show. And like
Yeah.
Sam Levinstein's a creep because he was doing this and that and this and that. Like do we the opening of the series is
Yeah,
an illegal
well, it's an assault.
crime. It's an
Yes,
illegal
yes.
crime.
Yes,
So like
yes.
who are we and then to spend 2 whole seasons just to get a payoff for that one crime, let alone everything else that we've committed, then to
Yeah.
wrap it up into season 3 and finally call out the director for that?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. 7 years later, like what? Like God,
Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah.
Just like, bro. Sometimes entertainment is entertainment, man,
Mhm.
and that's what this is. Like now, granted, I did think Euphoria though is and like you really look at the first 2 seasons. Like, bro, that shit is like a real look into what addiction looks like, man,
Yep.
for people and how it affects families and like and
Mhm.
all the mental stuff that the mental gymnastics that
Mhm.
these teenagers are just the depicted teenagers are like going through whatever and like the real situations of betrayal like from friend to what exes
Yep.
and this bro that shit was good, man.
Yep.
So it's funny though because yeah, like the first 2 seasons of Euphoria started heavy, you know what
Yeah.
I mean, which is crazy things happening. Um and so like I think this was a way they had to kind of like set a table first. Like
Mhm.
they couldn't just jump into it like they could in the because we don't have lore, but we do have like,
A
previous
backstory. Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
So, but now it's so much time's passed. We got to set the table. So I think second episode, I think they're gonna hit the ground running. I think something
Mhm.
shocking is gonna happen.
Mhm.
Very opening scene,
Yeah.
like just like again, opening scene season 1 is the crime.
That, yeah.
The opening scene of season 2 is we see Ash
Fesco.
Ash
Oh.
like kill the
Yeah,
boy
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean like that's the first scene in
Yeah.
that. So I think all right, they set the table episode 1.
Well,
It might not be good to y'all,
and
but
I
I think they're gonna. I trust HBO. Like
yeah. Okay.
forever, same level.
Okay.
I trust HBO.
Okay.
HBO does not put out BS for real.
It's true. It's true.
I think they going. I think they going
I
like
think
hit us
also
upside our head with some crazy shit.
I think also too, just to wrap up the bad reviewers, I would venture to guess that those people, and I could be wrong, but I'm just tossing this out there as a general thought, they might not have children. And what,
Okay.
what takes me back is you probably don't know this because it was the most terrible, most god awful written, the dialogue, the actors, every single thing about this show was terrible. And I've talked about it in length for years, but there was a show on ABC Family back in the day called The Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Oh, okay.
And it was basically this sitcom every week, and it was a family, and they had 2 daughters, and the other family down the street had a daughter, and one kid had Down syndrome, and this girl did this, and this girl was the nerd, typical whatever. And then the one girl, the band geek, got pregnant because her boyfriend slept with her over the summer, and like now she's 16 and pregnant, and it's this big thing. and we would watch it back in the day, like when we were in like high school, like 16, 17, whatever, 15, younger. We would watch it with mom every week, and every week I would go, "Oh my God, I can't believe they are giving my mother the playbook," because that's what it was. It was the secret life of the American teenager. They were having sex on the low. There was a slut in the school. There was a pregnant girl in the school. There was a jock banging the slut. The whole thing was basically real life. And like, even though the show was terrible, but like that's kind of our modern day of Euphoria. Like this is real life, and I feel like maybe an ounce of those negative reviews just don't understand that, have never experienced that, and or don't have like a teenager or young children that'll almost, God forbid, your children going in and almost experiencing that soon. So it's like we've got all of this reality to think about, whereas those negative reviewers are probably coming from like they love House of the Dragon, so the fact that dragons aren't real probably pisses them off too. So I think that's pretty much it. All right, man, let's button this up. I mean, so far so good. I'm excited to see every Sunday we have got, let me see, we have got 8 episodes. Is that what's going on? Okay, and I think that takes us, if my memory serves me correctly, like May 31st, takes us right into June, and which then takes us right into House of the Dragon season 3, and so we're rocking and rolling, man. As always, ladies and gentlemen, do the things on YouTube you got to do: like, subscribe, follow, repost on Instagram, follow us, tag along, leave a comment, do everything you need to do to support this show. Let us know if you're watching Euphoria season 3. Let us know what you thought about this episode, the Euphoria episode, everything you need in the comments down below or links. Find us online, do a quick search, and we'll be there. Until next time, Los, as always, my friend, great talking to you. Euphoria, no doubt, bro. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. We out.